In today's vlog, we discover the perfect subway tile pattern for your kitchen backsplash using our DIY Parisian kitchen as a guinea pig. We'll explore the most popular designs from classic to modern, as there is more to it than we thought. Join me as I take on the challenge of figuring out the best direction for subway tiles underneath our new upper kitchen cabinets that Paul's about to install right here. Will I nail it or totally mess it up? Since asking our restorers in last week's video, we were overwhelmed with responses. Thank you so much for your input. You really got us thinking. It turns out you created your own third option of a herringbone chevron design, which 16% of you voted for. 23% voted for horizontal and 45% voted for vertical. And then there was a final 16% that voted for staggered, another option that wasn't actually given. But hey, it might be the best one to go with. Let's find out. It really was a good lesson this week to see that there isn't always just one choice that's correct. I think there's multiple options that can work. And so we want to not rush the decision, but slow down and make sure we're really going through the pros and cons of each one, because the backsplash can really change the look of your kitchen and we want to get it right the first time. For our kitchen, we want it to feel kind of calm and subtle, nothing too overpowering or overstimulating, because the floor already is quite textured. So we're going to take that into consideration, but we're going to take you with us today through the process and really nut out which is the best option. First things first, we need to gauge the space correctly, which means Paul needs to install the upper cabinets tout de suite. And he's back in Paris.
And straight into it. And it looks amazing, except for one small thing.
What's this?
That's clear. There's like a tea station, there's sweet thing, there's wine. What do you mean?
You're so practical, but sometimes you need to make it look nice. We can put all that in a cupboard. Literally, we'll put it right here. But you've got your lane, I've got my lane.
Okay,
Maybe make this pretty.
that's good to me. Nice. Yeah, it's nice.
Oh my God, it is freezing on this side of the house. I'm going to make this quick. I'm going to just grab another packet of tiles so that we can kind of do some simulations and really see which is the best pattern. All right, here we are. This feels so good to just sit in the space with actually what we're going to use, and we know exactly how much depth we need now in our Parisian kitchen. I learned a lot actually, and picking a backsplash tile, especially with subway tiles, it can be overwhelming because it's not just about your personal preference and what's functional. It actually really is about creating a harmony and a connection throughout all the spaces, continuity. But I thought we'd get straight into the ones that were popular. There's a couple of surprise ones that we'll see what we think. Staggered, this is called a brick layout or a staggered layout, and you need to definitely make sure you're doing 50% of the tile so that it has like clean grout lines, because you really do see the difference. Surprisingly like this one, it sits really comfortably in the space, and so from what I've learned, this is actually one of the most classic and timeless designs. Cottage core feel or a country feel, shaker style cabinets like what we have here are ideal. I was under the impression it was a little bit dated, but perhaps it's actually just classic, and I was a little bit hard on it. A negative for staggered tiles is because you see the grout lines so much, making sure that they're well installed and making sure that they're well maintained can be a bit of a problem. I feel like this is a softer version of the horizontal option that we gave, which I can literally just do this. Can I just do this without breaking everything? And this one is more modern. It's more streamlined. Unfortunately, a negative for these tiles can be it can look boxy. If you have a really long space, it can just make it feel even more elongated. But that could actually be a positive if you have a really high ceiling and you need to make your space feel longer. Well, I know for one thing, Paul is team vertical, so let's do vertical. So I think this was our most popular option for a reason. It is very clean, it elongates the space, and it feels kind of there but not there, which is exactly what we're going for. But it definitely brings a more contemporary vibe to our kitchen and highlights the black hardware that we've gone for, and it kind of brings it into the 21st century. The next time we're going to be doing is called mosaic, and I was like, oh, well, we have mosaic floors. Let's do mosaic on the backsplash tiles. So from what I understood, what do we think of this one? This is like a grid pattern, kind of a mix of the two. If you can't decide between horizontal and vertical, why not do both? Seeing them here with the flooring underneath, I think it's a bit too busy. I'm not loving this one. More modern, sleek vibe, and you really want to bring in a texture and have a moment in the kitchen. This could be really interesting because it creates a bit more detail. Unfortunately, I don't think it's right for our kitchen, but it's a good exercise nonetheless. You have to always try, and I'm happy we tried it, and I'm happy to put it à la poubelle. Now let's go to the fun one. This hidden option that I didn't realize was going to be as popular, and that's the herringbone style. There is another one similar, it's called chevron, and it's actually when you make the points into a triangle, so you'd make these two cuts here, so it made one streamline line down the center. And Paul would kill me if I did that, because the more cuts you do, the harder it is to install. And herringbone is known for being very complex, and even just creating the patterns, it's not easy, because as soon as you put off the pattern by 1 millimeter, it's not good. So let's try herringbone. Herringbone definitely gives a Parisian feeling. It transcends trends, it's quite timeless. And if you've got neutral flooring and neutral cupboards and you just want that little wink of Paris, I would absolutely go for this. I am a fan of it. In our kitchen, I'm just wondering whether it's going to be a bit busy. So I've got one more style up my sleeve, and I discovered this one as I was researching, and it's called the double herringbone. It's a slightly more modern version of the herringbone design, and it might feel less bitsy because it's going to be a slightly more blocky herringbone, so it's got a little bit more guts to it. All right, this is our double herringbone. What do we think of this one? I think this one is an up-and-coming choice. Definitely feels modern and it feels timeless. And I like that you don't see all the individual cuts as much. That will work well in our kitchen. It's going to be a bit of a nightmare to install. Poor Paul. Could be quite elegant. What do you think? So with all that in mind, I think we have a short list of the staggered, the vertical, and the herringbone / double herringbone. And I'd love to say to you right now and give a happy ending to this vlog that I know exactly which one it is and we can just move forward. But the truth is, I don't know. And it wouldn't be authentic for me to say that I do. I'll say though, I feel way more informed going through this process with you. It's thanks to you that we actually thought beyond going the classic simple ways, and we've discovered so many other varieties and versions. And so I think this is going to be an ongoing project, and maybe the answer will just like come in an epiphany. Stay tuned for this one. I think I've mucked it up. If that was the question, there's the answer. So stay tuned, and if you didn't write in last week's comments or your opinions changed and evolved, any interior designers or Picasso fans who think in an artistic choice which would be the best one for a Parisian kitchen, please write below what you think as well.
Vertical.
You're still team vertical?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. Not you.
I don't know. We hope you enjoyed coming with us as we go through this process, learning along the way. It's only the beginning, and we can't wait to reveal our final choice in upcoming episodes. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss it. While it's all beginnings, we have to close out the trip with my little sister Courtney, who took Restore Bonjour by storm, and has been such a huge help and a lovely special guest to enjoy Paris with. We miss you already. See you next time on Restore Bonjour.